Howdy, folks. I'm Friar Tuck,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Walking Out on Dinner with My Parents and Causing Them to Fall Out? And there is a content warning on this one. It does involve homophobia. I'm a 23-year-old male, and I'm bisexual. I came out to my parents when I was 16. I was worried about my dad, as he's quite religious, but he took it surprisingly well. My mom, however, said bisexuality wasn't real, told me that it was either a phase or a stepping stone towards me coming out as fully gay, which she wasn't happy about. We argued about it for a little while before I realized that I was talking to a wall, and we dropped it. Well, when I was 18, I moved out for university and I met a girl named Ava. We hit it off instantaneously and dated for 2 years. Mom adored Ava, and we went out a lot as a family. The two of them even did things without me and Dad. Over time, the spark died and we both felt it, so we decided to stay friends. It was amicable. We still loved each other, just not romantically. My mom was devastated, spent a long time trying to convince Ada to get back with me, scolded me for driving her away because of course it was my fault. Well, around a year later, Ava introduced me to her friend Joel at a party. It was obvious what she was doing. She basically pushed us together and sprinted away. But Joel was cute, so I didn't complain. We danced around the romantic thing for a long time, both too chicken to make a move in case it messed up our friendship. But looking back, friends don't hold hands or kiss each other on the cheek as much as we did. Ava calls us idiots to this day. We've been together for almost 3 years and live together, and I'm confident that he's the one I want to grow old with. Dad loves Joel, but Mom hasn't really given him a chance. She's civil, but it's clear she isn't happy with me dating a guy. Well, last week Mom invited us over for dinner. Joel was excited, and I thought maybe she was trying to make an effort. I got a text from Ava on the day saying Mom invited her and asked if I was aware. I said no, and she decided not to go in case Mom tried to get us back together in front of Joel. Well, when we showed up, Mom was in a foul mood. After a tense hour, Mom asked why I forced Ava not to come. I assured her I did no such thing. Ava is a close friend of both me and Joel, and it was her decision. I asked why she invited Ava in the first place, and Mom said that she just wants what's best for me. Then, not so subtly, glared at Joel. I saw red, unloaded all of my pent up feelings about how she's never given him a fair chance and how she assumes Ava was better for me just because she's a girl. She told me that I would never be happy with Joel when I could be in a normal relationship. And then it got silent. I saw Joel start to tear up, so I took his hand and left. That night, Dad showed up with a duffel bag and said that he and my mom had argued when we had left and been staying in our guest room since. He hasn't spoken to Mom. Everyone on my mom's side of the family is calling me selfish and immature for causing this rift. I feel guilty because I ultimately caused this with my outburst and bad communication. And I can tell that Joel blames himself. I don't know what to do. So am I the jerk for letting these things reach this stage? Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk, and none of this is your fault.
Yeah, OP, I don't think that this is your fault. I think that, like, maybe communication is difficult and maybe having an outburst was not necessarily like the best or most helpful form of communication at the time, but your mom really put you under a lot of stress. She put you under a lot of pressure, and you reacted in a reactionary way. And I mean, the thing is that she could have talked to you, she could have approached you, and I mean, it sounds like you two have had discussions in the past, but she refuses to listen. She assumes that she knows what's best for you, and she does not want to take account into your own feelings. I mean, and she blames you for the ending of that relationship between you and Ava. So it seems like no matter what you had said to her, she was not going to believe you. She was always going to assume that this relationship between you and Ava was what was for best, and she's not going to listen to you. So, I mean, at a certain point, anyone's going to be frustrated with the constant bringing this kind of stuff up at you. So, I don't think that you're the jerk at all. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Busy Dad Gaming says, Not the jerk, you didn't cause anything. You tried to communicate with her for years, but she's more certain that she knows what's right for you and clearly doesn't trust you. That's going to eat away at every relationship, and clearly it has been. This is her fault. You stood up for yourself and your man. Good on you. That takes character. Not everyone can do it. I'm proud of you, and I know your dad is proud of you too. I hope your mom comes around." And Paris Money Cake says, "You caused this rift by being in a same-sex relationship, which is reasonable and rational and makes you happy. You defended your partner to your mother and demanded respect for your partner. She is the only one who has caused problems. If others in your family blame you, then they're homophobes too, not the jerk." Background in Cat says, "Correction, OP is just breathing. Mom is not satisfied no matter what he does." Our next letter is titled, "Am I the jerk for going back on a promise I made to my husband 8 years ago?" Well, my husband and I have been married for 11 years. We met in college and got married shortly after graduating. We are both very career oriented and have professional goals that we want to obtain. About 8 years ago, we had multiple changes in our lives. The first was me finding out that I was pregnant unexpectedly, and the second was that my husband lost his job when the company he worked for filed for bankruptcy. We had a lot of hard conversations about what these two things meant for our lives. Ultimately, we decided to keep the baby and have my husband stay out of the workforce to get our home ready for the child and be a stay-at-home dad while I continued to pursue my career. We came to this agreement with the understanding that he would be able to pursue his career again in the future. Then, 4 years ago, we had another unexpected pregnancy. Yes, I was on birth control and taking it properly, but no, we were not using condoms. Now we have two lovely, amazing children. The pandemic hit my husband harder than it did me, as he was taking on a majority of the childcare and schooling at home for our oldest, and it was difficult. As hard as it was on him, this time period couldn't have been better for my career. Over the past 2 years, I have received multiple promotions, and my career trajectory is years ahead of where I thought it would be. A few weeks ago, I received a job offer from a different company that would be another big jump for me. However, it would require relocating to a different state. I explicitly brought this up with my husband, but he wasn't happy for me. He asked what it would mean for him going back to work, and I told him it would take some time for us to get assimilated into the area and for me to get accustomed to the new job, as it would probably be higher stress than what I'm doing now, but with much higher pay and benefits. I told him that we could discuss him going back to work in maybe a year or so after we move. He told me that he's tired of being a stay-at-home dad and he's becoming resentful of watching me get to achieve my goals and dreams while he's living a life that he never envisioned for himself doing. He told me that I'm being selfish to want to uproot our family for my job and asking him once again to put his goals and dreams on hold so that I can achieve more of mine. I told him that him being a stay-at-home dad doesn't have to be permanent, and this is just another huge step for us as a family. He cut me off and said, "No, this is a huge step for you. For the rest of us, it's just moving." I told him that this was unfair, and he said the unfair thing was me breaking promises I made to him. I told him that was years ago, and things have changed. If I'm going to be honest, I know this is going to be hard for him to get back into his career after being out for so long. A huge gap like this in his employment record is almost a DOA for him to get a good job. I feel bad about it, but we have a pretty good life as it is, and this new job would only offer more opportunities. All right, folks, what do you think, jerk or not the jerk?
Jerk.
Well, OP, I think this is a difficult situation, and I think that you're kind of not seeing the forest for the trees. Your husband is telling you that he is not happy. I understand that 8 years ago you made a promise to him and that you would allow that you two would eventually both end back up in careers, and things haven't seemed to work out that way, but it doesn't sound like you're really helping him out either. So I think you need to do more to help him achieve his goals and not be so confounded, I guess, when he's like, "Hey, I'm not happy with this thing that I never wanted to do." So I do think that you're acting a little short-sighted. I think that you're acting a little selfish in this situation. And I think that this is a really difficult thing too, because it does sound like if you move, let me ask you this, OP. This is kind of my big question. If you two move into a new area, is this going to offer him more career opportunities or less career opportunities? And if the answer is that he's not going to have as good career opportunities in the area that you move back to or that you move to, then this is going to be detrimental towards his career. If you can look up jobs and say, look, as soon as we move over there, you'll be able to start doing X, Y, and Z job, then maybe you two can work something out, hire some kind of childcare, and get him back into the workforce. But it sounds like he wants to be back in the workforce ASAP. And maybe if you have more money and more time, that might be an option. But I don't know. That's something that you two are going to have to sit down and discuss and cannot continue to push his career further and further out. So that's kind of my thought. Anyhow, take care and good luck. And Nanny Live says, you're the jerk for your whole attitude. You should now be as supportive of him as he has been of you. We do not have a pretty good life now, you do. Your husband is unhappy and you're marginalizing him in his own family. If you want to move, start actively supporting him in his job search and start interviewing nannies in the new location and stop acting like you're a 1950s man. I mean, I think that's a pretty good assessment there. Red Phoenix Viking says, I love how she's explicitly stated that him waiting that long has his career dead on arrival if he wanted to restart it, and then tells him that he can just wait another year. What good is it for the gander if it isn't always good for the goose, and vice versa? But she's so blinded by her career that she can't see that she's actively stolen her husband's in the process. Everything he tried to tell her was completely ignored because she feels so justified, so anything he says will fall on deaf ears as long as she feels like her career is worth it. OP, you're the jerk. I feel sorry for your husband because not only has he given up any hope of a professional advancement by your words, and without a shadow of a doubt relegated to a second-class citizen in your home because boss lady makes the rules, which means he has zero income aside from whatever you let him have access to, which also means every family decision is made by you since you've pretty nakedly welded your power to have no shame about it. You keep moving the goalpost and going, oops, life happens, as if you don't keep putting your husband's life on hold every time it happens. You better hope he doesn't move his goalpost far away from yours and take a quarter of that sky-high income as child support. All right, folks, it is tea time, so grab your beverages of choice. I hope you're having something tasty. I have water today.
Same.
So no need to guess. I'm sorry, folks. Water. But in addition to water, I also have jokes. How many letters are there in the alphabet at Christmas? 25, because at Christmas we sing no L. Oh no. No, 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 no. No. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Happy Friday, Junior's Eve. Wait, no, is it? It's Happy Friday, Junior. Yeah, Happy Friday, Junior. Happy Friday, Junior's Eve. I hope you're all having a great day so far. I hope all your dreams and wishes are coming true. If you like this video, consider giving me a like. And if you dislike this video, consider giving me a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.